Y'all, what's up? What's up, y'all? This is another one of my direct uploads. Y'all see this shade all up in my way and whatnot. Looking like a mass bandit and whatnot. Looking like a superhero. I can't even see my eyes and whatnot, can you? Anyway, right. I learned the game when I was broke. You know what? I was just working out. I had a very good workout and stuff, right? Very good workout. And I was thinking about like the time in my life when I actually got the most attention from women, right? And I'm gonna tell you why I started thinking about that. But anyway, right? The time in my life when I got the most attention from women, right, was now even though I had, I graduated, had a couple degrees and everything, right? I was, as you say, between jobs, and just because of the circumstances, and I'll just put it out there. I was in the application process for a federal agency, so I wasn't working a permanent job, and there was definitely told me if I made it in that particular agency, I would have been moved. So I didn't want to get a permanent job or put down like permanent residence, so I was working at just working temp jobs and living at my grandmother's house, right? And one of the criteria for that job was basically being able to pass a physical training exam and stuff, right? And I've written about this before. The only reason I'm even talking about it, I ain't gonna say the agency though. But and for the record, I ain't getting that particular agency, but another one. But yeah. So I'm sitting there. I'm living at my grandmother's house. All I'm doing is just running and doing body weight exercises, right? And wasn't making money. And even then when I met women, I didn't really tell them what I was doing. I just, I ain't say, oh yeah, I'm going to work for this, or even tell them my background. I would just say, yeah, I work here and doing this and stuff, right? And I was probably got the most play ever. I probably got the most play ever, right? Like, before, when I was more stable, and then afterwards when, I got more stable, moved out of granny's and whatnot, you got attention, but it wasn't the same. It really wasn't the same, because during this period, I couldn't even say I had that thing called game. Now, or what I would consider game, because to me, to be honest with me, at that time, talking to a woman was like kind of like breathing. So it wasn't like a big deal to me. So, if I approached a woman or something, talked to her, I wouldn't say, it wasn't a big deal. Right? Still not a big deal. But it was during this period now. Now, I'm bringing this up because, when I say getting play, I was quiet. I had women approaching me. I literally had a few women approach me on the street. Right? And the only thing I had was my body was just at its optimal. Right? That's it. I wasn't even dressing fly or anything like that. Right? Unless I was going to a club, but if I'm just walking down the street ordinary, wearing like a nerdy shirt, nerdy pants and all, working in some temp job, and that's when I was working. Now, there were periods in there I wasn't working. Yet got more play thrown at me than anything. And I bring that up too because even I mentioned something on my other site, other channel about, R. Kelly's magnetism and stuff, right? People always say something, and then in general, every time you try to talk about getting women, people always say money, and I've seen this on other dating coaches' comments. People say, "Oh, you just need money" or something. Even on some videos that have nothing to do with this sector, where some women, it might be a woman asking another woman what attracts her to a man, and somebody always getting comments, "Oh, it's the money." But then I'm thinking about it, I'm like, and this ain't theory on my part, I'm like, well, hold up. I was getting plenty of play, didn't have money. Yeah, one time, my favorite was when 2 weeks straight, different women paid for the motel. Like 2 weeks straight, they paid. They didn't balk. They offered, in fact, right? Because I ain't had my own space. And their living situation was they had like kids at home and stuff. They paid. Would have been 3 weeks straight, but the woman had her own house, right? And I wasn't even working a steady job. right? And I bring that up every, too many people want to fall back on money. Oh, if you just get money, you just get this, you just get resources, right? I'm just like, nah, not really. Yeah, look how those resources work for Jeff Bezos. Oh, and just real quick, his wife they talking 70 billion and all this with Bezos, giving it up to his wife. That must have been some hellified pussy. Damn. Anyway, I ain't gonna get into it. I got into it on my I talked about that on my Raw site, man. Sometimes if y'all want my real opinion on some shit, y'all need to hit up either my Raw site or my Patreon site. Especially my Raw site. That's when I really that's when you really know how Rom thinks. Alright? But anyway, right? Now I was thinking about that because think about it. Now, there's been times I've owned homes, condos, whatever. Lots of money, being able to travel. Yet the time I got the most play was when it was an adventure to pay my car note. Because grandma, bless her heart, she wasn't charging a brother rent. So I had to just make just enough money just to get my car note. So, I'm just like, wait a minute, I was at my brokers, and quite frankly, because like I said, I didn't make that particular agency, so there was a period where I didn't know what the fuck I was going to be doing with my life. Yeah, I got the most women. So, whoa, hold up. So, I didn't have purpose. A lot of coaches talk about purpose. I ain't had purpose at that time. That was right before I decided I wanted to start writing. So I didn't know what I was going to do. And like I said, I got into something else, but there was a period there I wasn't sure what. I was able to do some other stuff. But like I said, at that moment, that other stuff was still maybe a year or two away. But I was still getting plenty of play. I was not lacking for women. And and they were doing vile stuff to a brother's body. And that's why I talk about the body game so much. I was like, dude, if you got a nice body. And you try telling dudes, but see, some dudes don't get that. They think it's just something. But see, here's the issue with a lot of cats. They on the outside looking in. And they want to feel like they know what they talking about. All right, where's he at? Okay, I heard an ambulance. Right? But yeah, dudes want to think it, and you keep trying to tell them like no, and it's like it ain't a theory. And shit, I look basically the same way I do now, except about 30 or so pounds lighter, 40 pounds lighter. Right? So I'm like, what was it? But it was the body. I was just in great shape. And it really tapped into, see, here's the thing. It taps into like a woman's sexual nature. Like, it's funny, all these people call themselves red pill and stuff and say they understand a woman's nature. And my thing is, if you really understand a woman's nature, you should be having sex all the time. Or at least in the gym all the time. Because they had their basic nature, they want to have sex. So all I did, and really my only secret was I had a body they wanted to experience sexually. Right? I ain't have to say much. I ain't have to do anything. I ain't have to take them. Like I said, hey, women paying for me. Man, shit. I ain't gonna lie. I seriously thought about doing some gigolo shit. And I actually had women paying for dates and whatnot. A couple were trying to move me in, but I wasn't going there for like sovereignty too much. And speaking of that, I know some people say, well, Rom, you say, get your economics and your status and, get all that together. And I tell you, and I've also said, you're not doing that for women. You're doing it for yourself because you like to eat. Seriously, you ain't doing that shit for women. Women are the commercial to your program. But you also don't need it to get women. Because if that's the case, why all these dudes who got money and stuff in their pocket having trouble? Man, gotta stop by the store, get some water and stuff. I don't know. But yeah, seriously. So, anyway, right? That's all I had for. That's all I had to That's all I had for today. So anyway, I'll talk to y'all. Peace and blessings.